So let's continue, my friend, with the register stuff. We still didn't finish. One of the things that I need to fix is the width right here. So if you remember, let me actually go back. So I was just committing. Let me close this and let me zoom in a bit. So if you go back to your register form, we actually, let me zoom out. So right here for this container, we're going to also add the width to be 4, okay? So it always takes the max width we defined right here. So that's something we have to do. And if I go back right now, is there any difference? I don't think is there any difference. It does not. Okay, sorry, it was 3L. So now that I removed it, I will see the difference. Okay, so this is better. And that we have done that, I want to also make this status optional, so I don't, make people add it by force. So if I can do that, I have to actually go back to my inputs. So where are my inputs? So for this status right here, I can go to the placeholder and maybe add like just optional here, something like that. And let me just go back. Yeah, maybe like that. So, and okay, so where is it shows optional even because it's the same placeholder. Okay, so that's fine. So we're using it this way, so that is totally fine. And now it is time for the picture. So the picture is also optional, so we have to start working on that. And we're gonna do it in its own little component. And this right here, maybe I can go and add, this is for the picture. So what we have to do is create that component. And so before doing that, I have to create two states that I'm gonna need. So let's create the picture and then set picture. This can hold our picture, so use state here. And then also what we need to do is to have a readable picture. So this picture that we have is going to be just as a file that you cannot read, but other is going to be readable, so we can actually show it for the user so he can decide if you want to continue with this picture or not. So this one is going to be readable picture, readable picture. And then because I want to use, have it and then transform it, but I feel like that's easier on you. So set readable picture. It's quite an annoying name, but we just have to continue with it. So now I have to create that component. So this component is going to be in the auth itself, and this one is going to be for the picture .jsx right here. And then we can have RFC here. Let me remove the import and let me remove this picture here. And let's add a class name for this one. So let's add a class name. And what we have to do for this one is I'm just gonna go margin top 8 and then content to be center. And then also I'm gonna have the in dark mode, the text is gonna be primary. Okay, it's gonna be the primary one. So dark text, can I get it? Okay, text 1, that's it. And then I'm also gonna have a space y to be 1. And then instead of this one, I'm just gonna have a label, and this label is gonna have some class names. Also the text to be small, and then the font to be bold, and then tracking wide. Okay, like that. So we don't need actually to add that, but we can have it just add picture, for example. And then let me go inside this label. This is the same as the input, so don't worry. So I'm just gonna go picture, and I'm gonna also make this optional here so the user understands it's optional. And then here it's gonna be dependent. So if we have a picture, we need to show it, and if we don't, we have to show the button to add it. So let's actually pass like the picture right here, for example, and the reader. We're gonna need them both, I believe, because I'm just doing this for the first time. So maybe I'm just gonna pass and see what I'm gonna need. So if I go back here, I will need to import the picture component, and then I need to pass few stuff. So if there is a picture, maybe need to pass that. Actually, let me just for now pass the readable picture. So the readable picture, because this is what we need to read. So I can say if it exists, so let me pass it in the props, and you will see how everything's gonna work out. Don't worry, I shouldn't have started doing this, like this. But if we have like a readable picture, then we need to show it. So I can have a div here, and then inside of it, I can have just the image where we're gonna the source of it is just simply gonna be that readable picture. This is what I'm trying to say. This we can have just the picture right here. But else, if it's not, so we have to show like an input to do all of this. So we can have like some sort of button to do that, or maybe just as a div, because we don't want to submit and I don't want to use the reset buttons. So I can have a div. All right. So and inside of this is going to be upload image. Well, let's continue with picture. So let's stay consistent, and then let's add some class names here. All right. So for the class name, we're going to have the width to be 4, and then the height to be 12, then BG, so in dark. BG is gonna be dark BG1, or actually third, so the third one. And then also I'm gonna have rounded MD, and then font bold. After that I'm just gonna have flex, and then item center, and then also justify center, and then I'm gonna have cursor to be pointer, and that's it. And then also this is the class name. So yeah, this is what we're showing right now. So let me go back and see. Yeah, this is what we have. We have this upload picture right here, and with the font should be like the other one. So why isn't it? So for the text small, font bold, and tracking wide. Oh, what is the problem here for this label? Let me actually just compare it with the input so we can see the label. So this is the class name. Let me take it. And let me go back here and change this. Oh, sorry, it was font bold, not font bold. Yeah, that was the problem. No need to paste that. So now we have that, and I have the upload picture here. So this is just a button that doesn't do anything. So what we should do is create the inputs that we can use. So maybe under here, like you can create the input. So that input is gonna be type of file. Okay, and let's call this picture. You don't need to do this, but let's just do it to have like some proper name for it. So this simply is just like an input for file. Okay, and it's not multiple. It's just, you know, an input that accepts something. So if you click on it right here, it's gonna open this for you, so you can choose some files, for example. Okay, and that's understandable. So what we can do right now is make it hidden, and then I wanna open it when I click on this right here. When I click on this upload picture button, you could say. So it is not that hard to do that. So I can just go right here and define an input ref, and I'm gonna use the useRef from React. And simply what we can do when I actually click right here, so I'm gonna make this hidden, and I'm gonna also add a reference to it by this one. And then when I go here, when I click on this one, what I can do is just simply run it. So I can go to that input and go to the current, you know, item, and then we will click it. Okay, so now what you see what I'm doing, I'm making this hidden so I cannot see it, but I can use this reference to actually click it even though it's hidden. That means I can actually go here and click here, and it's gonna open that, you know, input for us. So you see how it works. It is beautifully done. And this one we can, you know, allow only few types of files. We can go accept. This is gonna allow only image like PNG, and then also image JPEG, and maybe image /WebP. I don't even remember if it's the right way to add this, but I'm just testing. Let me try. Yeah, it does work. It's gonna allow now only to see the, you know, images. So that's the only type of image things you can select, or files you can select. So now what we have to do is we have a function. So and when I select something here, I have to do certain tests on it. What I mean by that is that I can have an on change on this input. So whenever something change, we choose something, I can have this handle image or handle picture. Let me stay consistent. So I can go handle and then picture, something like that. Because there's only one picture, and I have to go, let me go here and then calls handle. This is going to be an arrow function that has the events here. So what we can actually do is get that picture, let's call it pic for example, and we're going to access it from the events.target, and we have files there. So because we're only going to have one, I'm just going to select the first one. because in the event target.files, you're gonna get all the files. So if you want, because it's one, it's gonna be the first one. That's what we were doing. And we can actually do few tests right here. So if you think that you don't want to allow certain types, you can go pick.type. If pick.type is actually different than, you know, like image/JPEG or something, okay? So you're not gonna, and also it is, don't allow only certain types. So also if the pick.type is different than PNG, and maybe also different than WebP, okay, that means this picture is none of these types right here. So we're not gonna allow this. So what we can do, simply you can return, and that's gonna stop it. But I need to do something else. Okay, if we return in, but I need to do certain thing right here. Actually, I can also remove this, you know, make this empty this event.target. Oh, we don't need to here, because we don't care about that. So what we have to do is show like some error. So how are we gonna do that? So maybe I can add it, maybe right here. So let's create an error state. So I'm gonna go and create it maybe after, even though it should be maybe on top. So this is the error, and then set error, and then the use state here, and this is simply empty in the beginning. So we can set an error here, and this is set error right. So you can use backticks even, and we can access the image.name. I think it's name, I hope it is right, and they say format is not supported, okay, something like that. And I feel like that's enough for this test right here, and we can actually test that by showing if we have an error. So under all of this right here, we can have here, so this is for error, and I didn't organize my code the best, to be honest with you, but here if we have an error, and let's have a class name maybe right here, which just margins up like 2, for example, and this is paragraph with the text red 400, and then right here we're gonna show if we have an error. All right, so let's test this. So image is not defined. All right, where is the image? Did I add something? Okay, sorry, not image, it's pic. Okay, let's go down now. Okay, so let me try this. So upload image. I don't get access to anything, but I can select all files from here. Let's choose something that is not a picture. And you see what's happened. You will see the name of the file, access refresh tokens.for format is not supported. Don't worry, the name file, and this is just my audio files from my recordings, but you can see that the error message, we get it, and we see that this format is not supported. So our test is valid. One test, another test that we can actually do, we can test the size. So we can go, for example, sorry, this is elsif, and we can test if the pic.size, you know, some people won't do the validation, but I do it. So if it is more, this is 1 megabytes, it's just 1024 like this. So if you allow maximum 5, you can just multiply this by 5. And that's just simply equal to 5 MB. And if you want a 10, you can go 10. So that's up to you. I'm just gonna leave it as 5. So 5 seems reasonable. So this is a test, and we can actually do the same thing. So we will set the error and also return because we cannot continue. So I'm just gonna go, and so this is the pic, this is .name. So it's gonna be not format and supported, but size, or maybe is too large, or maybe I can go something like maximum 5 MB allowed, just to make it clear for the user. So let's actually test that. So I can go back and let me upload a picture. I'm gonna take a picture that is larger than 5 MB or megabytes. I'm gonna take that, and you will see it says maximum 5 MB allowed. So that we've done that, now when everything is all right and the image is valid, what we have to do. So the first thing is we have to add, take that value that we got the image and read it for us, for the user, so we can use it in an image tag. So it can be used in the source right here. And that should be allowed if we take that file, which is the image, and we turn it into a base 64 string. And the image, tag can actually read it. But this is for that. But if you want to upload the image, for example, as we're going to use Cloudinary, it doesn't accept base 64. So we have to take either that base 64 and turn it to a blob, which I've done before in my other courses, and then send it to Cloudinary, or actually send the file directly. So what we're gonna do when we select that image, I'm gonna preserve the file, which is gonna be preserved in the picture right here state. Okay, that's the actual file that Cloudinary accepts, and the readable picture is the base 64, which I can read. So this is like the whole idea here. So let's go back here. So else, if everything is all right and everything is valid, I can actually send the set picture, because yeah, if everything is valid, I want to set that file to my picture. So I can go, where is it? Come here. Where is the picture? It is here. Okay, so I'm gonna add that. And then also I'm gonna send the set readable picture, because I want to also set the readable picture also. Let me add this right here. All right, so let me go back to my picture now right now, and I have to actually get them here. And then set picture. All right, so in the else right here, first of all, I want to go and set the picture, because everything is valid, so I can set that pic that I have, which is the file. So this is setting the actual file. But for reading the file, so right here, for reading the image or the picture, so what we have to do is create a reader. So I can go reader right here, and we're going to use new file reader. So this is to read in file. This is simple JavaScript functions that we have access to. And then I'm going to be to go to the reader and use the read. So read as data URL. So I can actually get it as base 64 as a data URL. And then I'm going to go and add the picture there. So when it's done so I can go onload it. So when it's done, I can go and use the onload events here. And then simply this one is going to give us an event. And what we can do with that is I can actually set the readable picture with the event, .target.results. And this is it. So now I'm going to be able to set the readable picture, which is the one that we're going to use right here to show the picture, which is right, where is it? Here. And then we will work on the size. I don't know exactly what size I'm gonna use first. Maybe let me add some styling now, just to make it a little bit easy on the eyes. So class name, maybe the width 20, the height 20. Oh, come on, not 2 dashes. And then we're gonna have objects cover. So just objects fits cover, and then we're gonna make it rounded, fully round circle. Okay. So I also wanna console log just to show you. So I can console log right here the picture, and then also the readable picture like that. And let me go back and let me open and inspect a little bit. You know, I like inspecting, seeing what's going on. So this is the console. For now, it's undefined and an empty string. Now let me upload an image, and let me choose, for example, in my documents, I can choose this default picture. So I choose it, and look what you see. First of all, we get the image right here. So you see, this is the image. It's right in your face. It is right here. We've added it. And then also you can see this is the database 64 URL, which is a lot, which allow us to read the image. And in the first one, which is the picture, it has the file itself, which Cloudinary accepts for us. So, you know, I do it this way because it's easy to understand, and as you see, it's data image PNG base 64, and it's this whole string right here that allow you to read an image. All right, so now that we've done that, and now we have the picture, so I have to actually set the error back to false. So I have to go, let me remove this console log, we get the idea, we understand. So I have to go and set the error back to nothing. So here, if everything is done, I have to set the error back to nothing like that. All right, but that's not enough. Maybe I want to change the picture. So what should I do? So I'm not going to keep the button there. It's like you have the option. Maybe you can just remove it. Maybe I can create like some sort of, or maybe I can create like another button that says change or something, which is gonna be under that image. I don't know. So I'm just gonna try to create something real quick right here. So this is the image. I can create like a, I don't want to use a button. Let me have like the change. Sorry, this is GSX. So maybe change pic or something. Let's have a div here. that says, for example, something like change, and we can add a class name to it. The width is just simply like 20, and then what we can make it have some sort of background, the same as this button that we had here. What is it? I can use this one. Maybe I can use full. I can use this justify. Yeah, I can use the same size here, and I can have it here. So let me see. For example, this tag, I don't know about it yet, but let me just have it here. Okay, so we have this change button right here. So I have to actually add, like, let me remove this font bold. It doesn't suit it at all. Maybe if we had text small, maybe. Let me just see. Oh, it doesn't help. This is text, sorry. Let me just see. Oh, it is nothing. So let me remove this font bold here. This video is getting too long, but I kinda don't care. You have to stick with me right here and go through it. So let me make it extra small. Let me see. All right. So now maybe instead of having I can actually have some sort of margin top of like 2, and I can add some sort of padding like 2. And yeah, this maybe I'll actually just padding. Actually just 1, and it should be just from the y-axis. So let me see, maybe like that. I don't know, I'm just trying to add some sort of, you know, something that we can use. Okay, I can use this change right here. And let me go back to normal zoom in. Yeah, so I can use this change. And actually the height of the screen shouldn't be 100, because like if you zoomed in, you can't get access to the rest of the page. So that's something we have to fix right here. How we do this? We go back to the register form. The minimum height now is going to be the screen, and I think that's not enough, because like the wrapper or like the container that we have for this one, which is in pages and also register, it had the height screen, so we got to change it to minimum height screen. And let me see, now it's working. So even if you have a small height screen, it will work for you. So now when I click on this change, what it does, it should just open the file again for me. So I gotta go back and let's go to this right here, and I can I go to the end, please? Please. All right, it's here. I can add an on-click event. So an on-click event right here, and we can have a function, call this handle change. Not like that, just handle. We should run it. So the handle change right here, handle change big, because handle change is kind of like of a reserved name that we use all the time. So I can go right here and use that. And this is simply what it does. It's first of all setting the picture to nothing. Okay. And then also let's just set it empty like that. And then also set the readable picture to nothing. So we reset everything. And then also it goes to the input ref again, and then goes to the current, and then click it. See the magic where it happens? So now if I click change, look what's gonna happen. It's gonna open this file for me. I changed this image, and now I have the new image. When I change it, I click and I change this image. You see, this is how it works. Let me zoom out a little bit. You see how it does work. All right, if some people might not just want to use any picture, so or actually, because like what happens right now, maybe I can add like something like or maybe I have a better idea than using this change. So maybe what I can do is just for this handle change big right here, it just does this. It doesn't click, and it's not gonna says change. It just says like, for example, remove or something, because maybe you don't want to use a picture anymore, so you can just remove it. Oh, that's better. I feel like that's way better. Yeah, so I don't want to choose it, so I can just remove it. That's 100% better. All right, so remove, and then I can change it to another one. So now we handle a picture. You know, we took our time with this one just to make you understand really what's going on in handling files, and I feel like you understand better. I see an error there. That's picture. What is that? What is picture? So this one is picture. So now that we fixed that, it is time now. In the next video, we'll work on the actual function to upload to the cloud. We're going to show you, I already told you to create a Cloudinary account. I'm going to show you how to set some settings here to get some data that you're going to need. and just simply use that and use the Cloudinary API to upload some images. And it's going to be probably a function that is used for all things, so we can use it later to upload files, etc.